Hello everyone, Erica Rock, Spiritual Catalyst. Happy Love Day. I know there's so many mixed feelings when we land on Valentine's Day, right? I mean, depending on where you are in your relationship journey, today might bring you just deep sweetness and gratitude. It may be painful depending on what your experiences have been. Maybe you just lost a partner through unpartnering, or death or something else. And so it's a mixed bag of how we feel on Valentine's Day. And before I get any deeper into this, I want to just say that I'm very aware that Valentine's, there's a big commercialism part of it, right? Go spend money, get chocolates, go to dinner, and all those things are beautiful, but we see it, right? We so see it. And there's a lot of people that are in relationship and they're just kind of anti-Valentine's Day because they just feel that the commercialism of it is just so absurd and they don't participate. And then we have people that are really into it, right? So like I said, it's a mixed bag. But what I want to say about this day is there is a geometry of love that is amplified on this day, okay? The love is always there for us to receive it, no matter what day it is. But today, it's a little bit amplified because that's the energetic focus. And so here are some of the things that I want to share about how you can leverage the energy of this day, no matter where you are on the spectrum of being in relationship. So the first relationship that I feel is the most important is our relationship with ourselves. And I was single for a really long time before I met my husband. And it was so interesting because I was that girl that always had to be in a relationship. And my identity focused around being in a relationship. And I would often lose myself when I was in a relationship. I was that person. And I was also super clear that I came here to clear up all my patterns and return to unity consciousness. And so at some point, I knew I was going to have to face this huge fear of being alone. But let me tell you, it was the best thing I ever did for myself. I turned and faced that fear like a boss. And for 6 months, I was like a little lost puppy, inconsolable, couldn't crack a smile. And I just kept holding space for myself, reminding myself this is temporary, it will pass. And really was focusing my intention on befriending myself into self-sourcing, meaning giving myself what it is that I truly need, because forever I was looking out here for it. And that can always be temporary, right? Because relationships and people, they come and they go. And if I am getting all of my need to be heard, to be seen, to be loved, to be honored, cherished, worshipped, validated, if I need that to come from out here, that's a very shaky foundation at best. And so I realized, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start self-sourcing. I would look in the mirror, as cheesy as this sounds, I would look in the mirror and look my heart, look directly in my eyes and allow myself to see the beauty and to begin walking the path of loving myself, honoring myself, telling myself, good job, I love you, I love you, I'm so proud of you, great work, Look at all the lives you're touching. Like, I started to become my own cheerleader. And within all of that, a rock solid foundation formed. And I would make myself dinner, being totally single, I'm the only one eating. I would make myself dinner like I was having a dinner party. I went all out. I didn't skimp for the sheer reason that I was the only one eating. I made rockin' dinners that I poured my love into, and I would get myself flowers. I would take these extraordinary salt bubble baths with flower petals, and I would even have my own little date night where I got dressed up, did makeup, did my hair, smelled good, had an amazing dinner, had good dessert after, watched my favorite movie, or go for a long stroll in nature by myself. And I would talk to myself like, look at that beautiful flower. Like, oh my God, did you just see that deer? Like, I really got into it. And it was one of the most fulfilling journeys ever taken. And it's a journey that lasts forever. So if you're not in relationship, or you've been heartbroken, or you just suffered a loss and Valentine's just sucks for you, leverage the energy to start befriending yourself. Self-care, self-love is your thing. And it's the best thing you'll ever do. Because I no longer, like, I don't need my husband to tell me I look pretty today. I don't need him to do special things to make me feel appreciated or loved and cared for. Like, I do loving, caring things for myself. And then when he does do them, because he does, it's like the cherry on top. But I don't need it from him. In fact, I don't need anything from him, which he really knows that. And when we got into partnership, that was a little off, like not off-putting for him, but it was challenging for him, because basically me fulfilling all my needs, and I'm not saying that I'm an island unto myself and I don't need any people ever. No. But I'm not needy. I don't need this outer stuff to make me feel whole and complete and fulfilled. So for him, the challenge was, well, if you don't need any of this from me, what role am I playing? Like, what am I bringing to the table? So that is kind of what came up for him, which was super valuable because he learned to befriend himself. So first and foremost, relationship is you with you. You with you. Now, if you are in relationship, this day where we celebrate love for me is one thing I love to do, and my husband and I will do it tonight. I actually got this prayer bowl made, and we'll like write little intentions, things we want to manifest, businesses, like whatever it is that we want to bring in, we like write it and put it in our prayer bowl. And tonight the theme will be, how can we show up in our very highest for each other most of the time, which we do a pretty darn good job of that, but there's always room to be more present with each other. And so we're going to use the prayer bowl to make sacred vows to each other. And one for me is being more present, meaning when he's talking and wanting to share something with me, I'm not with my face buried in my phone or doing something else. Like, I stop, I turn to him, and I give him my full attention. All eyes on him, doing nothing but listening to him, feeling him with my heart. And in that sacred space, we often feel very seen, very heard, very loved, very honored, very cherished, very adored. We will also sit and do eye gazing. You can do, I mean, it doesn't have to be a love partner, but you can do this with your child. Sit and gaze into one another's eyes. You want to feel seen? Eye gazing. It's amazing. I used to do it with myself in the mirror when I was really intent on befriending myself and loving myself and giving myself what it is that I needed. I would eye gaze in the mirror with myself. I would see my face morph. I saw all these different versions of me, like past lives. I saw the depths of me. I would see where I was still holding on to pain, where I needed healing, where I needed to surrender and let go. And I saw my glory. I saw like my divine self. I remember one time getting home from an energy work class and I had to go to the bathroom. I turned on the light and gazed at myself real quick in the mirror. I was glowing. My skin was luminous. I was radiating. And I remember in that moment, I will take this to my grave. I looked like I was seeing myself for the first time. And I'm like, you're beautiful. And it's not about what you look like, right? It's like the light within you, like who you really are without all the conditioning, all the distortion, all the layers of shit that cover up our true, authentic selves. And so that was amazing. So doing eye gazing with a partner, do it with yourself, do it with your child, do it with your mother, your father. You want to really see someone, do eye gazing. So we will do eye gazing with the intent to see each other, our true authentic selves. Peel back the masks, the identities, if there are any. Letting the walls drop for deeper into me see, intimacy, into me see. And then we're going to go on a gratitude rave where we share with one another what we love about each other, what we adore about each other, what we cherish, what we value, what we are grateful and appreciative for. And if you don't have a partner currently, do it with someone, like do it with your best friend, do it with your child, do it with one of your family members, do it with yourself. Eye gaze and start telling yourself what it is that you appreciate about you. Because gratitude takes on a life of its own. We've all heard this. Like an attitude of gratitude, it begins to snowball and take on a life of its own. And the next thing you know, you're living from that place, that open-hearted place of gratitude. And you see the beauty and the awesomeness in everything that shows up around you. And then you attract even more things to be grateful for. That's just how it works. Gratitude's a super high vibe. Now, say you want to manifest a relationship. You're like, okay, Erica, this all sounds great, but you know what? Like, I'm single. Cultivate your relationship with yourself if you're single. Actually, even if I don't know why I just said that. Scratch that. Always cultivate a relationship with yourself and go deeper and deeper and deeper. Eternally, forever, whether you're in a partnership or not. That was actually my old pattern coming out of my mouth right there, because I got into relationship and everything that I valued, cared about, or whatever just dropped away, and I was living for them. Hung out with their friends, listened to the music they like to listen to, do the things they like to do. And I was out there somewhere, like on a tether, like losing myself. So that just slipped through. I'm very grateful that I can see that and go a little deeper into that. But say you want to manifest a relationship. one of the most valuable exercises I've ever done, and this was guided, I didn't read it in a book or learn it from anyone, but what I did was I got out my journal and I started to think about all of the relationships I had ever been in my life. And I would call to mind each and every person, and I would thank them for the time we had together, for all that I learned, even if some of it was messy and really uncomfortable and my heart got broken. I learned things. I learned things about what I don't want in a relationship, which lets me know what I do want. So there's so much growth no matter what. But what I did, so I thanked each person. I release you with peace, with love and blessings. Why? Because when we uncouple, when we break up and go our separate ways, if it's not done in a way that's like peaceful and honoring and neutral, we tend to, there's some like karmic entanglement there. So as much as possible, and there are extreme situations where there's violence, chaos, abuse, cheating, stealing, like crazy shit, but we still want to exit the relationship with our head held high and forgive and release them for whatever it is they did, no matter what. It's not saying that what they did is okay. It's saying I love myself enough to forgive, because then I'm free. So we're not carrying this energetic baggage into each relationship. You know how that goes, right? I'm sure you can look back and be like, yep, same pattern, same issue, different face. So I went through, brought the person to mind. I forgive and release you with great forgiveness and blessings and love. And then I would really feel into the relationship and what were the 1 to 5 things that I loved about them, that were blessings, that were the things that made me want to make the relationship work. And I would write those things down. And I went through every person that I could remember being in partnership with. And when it was all said and done, and I looked at my list, I'm like, holy shit. If I put all these things together, this is what I want. This is the partner that I want. This is what I want to magnetize to me and call in. And I'll tell you what, there's magic in the writing. When we write these things down and you do the simple little, I forgive and release you with great forgiveness and blessings, you're disentangling any karmic stuff, and it's like you're cutting cords and you're releasing yourself so that you can be this clean blank slate to call in a divine union that is beyond your wildest imaginings. And this is what I did. And then Gibran came into my life a few months later. It's an awesome exercise. It's super simple, but yet profound and deeply healing. You release all the stuff from the past so that you can bring in that person that is absolutely what you want and even more. And you're not bringing all the baggage from the past into that relationship. You can show up as your highest version, your most loving, authentic version, and you allow them to show up as their most loving, highest, authentic self version. And if you meet the person, and maybe they are bringing some baggage, because I'll tell you what, when I met Gibran, I had cleaned my shit up. I was so ready. He had not done these things, so when we met, I taught him let's do forgiveness and release. Let's let go of the baggage. Let's surrender. Let's clear, and let's heal. And he was really willing to do so because He saw what a clear vessel I was to receive him. And I was in such a space of, I love you exactly as you are. This is a all is welcome here party. He didn't know what to do with that kind of freedom. He had never felt so seen. He had never been in a relationship where I was not trying to change anything. I loved his goofiness. I loved his humor. I loved his sense of adventure. And he is one of the biggest hearts of anyone I've ever met in my life. And that was actually number one on my list. I'm like, I don't necessarily want to attract a spiritual man that's read all the books and done all the retreats and all the sessions and all the things. I just want someone with a beautiful heart that has a clue about how the universe works. And I got it. And you can get it too. So these are things that I want to share about this festive day of love. And I'd like to do like a divine, unconditional love transmission in silence. And all you need to do is place your right hand over your heart, your left hand turning up. So you're receiving this energy with your left hand, you're bringing it into your heart. And we're also cultivating and tapping into the love that we are, because that's what we're made of. So we're kind of like tapping into what's already within, with an added, I'm love bombing everyone. And I invite you to joyfully receive it and have no expectation of how it's going to feel, what you experience, or anything. You will be surprised at what you do experience. And it's probably not what you think it's going to be. So just be open. Close your eyes, take some nice deep breaths. Breathing into your heart space, breathing in the love, exhaling, breathing out love. Breathing in the love, exhaling, breathing out the love. And with every breath, we allow the love that we are to expand. We set an intention for us to even more deeply love ourselves, honor ourselves, give ourselves what it is we need, which takes pressure off of all of our relationships. We're willing to love ourselves free, and to love free, forgive and release every single person we've been in partnership with. You only have to be willing, like 1%, enough for a crack, so the light can come in and release any burdens that you are continuously carrying from past relationships. So whether you're in a relationship or not, you can show up brand spanking new, clear, a clean slate, an epic restart. So we'll dive into silence now and just allow yourself to receive it, receive it, receive it. And when you're ready, you can slowly come back to yourself and open your eyes. So, thank you for tuning in and connecting. Happy Love Day. Happy Valentine's Day. And if you want to share experiences from just hearing the share and receiving this love bomb, I'd love to hear it. And if you know someone that could benefit from this, you're like, oh yeah, I've got a friend that every Valentine's Day they are in the darkest of places. Maybe this would brighten their day. So I love you all. From my heart to yours, all my love.